Good morning, everybody. Y'all come on in there. A few spaces in the back there. You might be able to find a seat. You know, it's always nice to be here, the first one speaking in the morning, because if you make a mistake, not many people don't hear you. So, it is fun to be back here at the fair. I've been coming here for 30 years, and I've always enjoyed it. Got a few people here with me. My wife, Nancy Brown, over here. Renata James, who works in our no-call department. Y'all might want to talk to her about all these annoying phone calls we get. And Ryan Brown, my deputy commissioner over here in the blue shirt. Glad to have them with me. Oh, and Penny Culpepper back there. Penny's a native of Carthage, and she comes over the fair. She stays at the fair for 4 or 5 weeks, don't you, Penny? About 7 or 8 days anyway. Good to see you, Penny. Thanks for having us here today. I was born in Meridian, been in this part of the country 72 years, all my life, basically. My wife was born and raised in Mississippi. She's lived here all of her 29 years. All my children were born here. And like all Mississippi, I have some strong opinions. I'm going to talk about them in a minute, about some of those opinions, but I'll give you a little report on the Public Service Commission first. Over the last 2.5 years, since January of 2016, we have been to and attended and staffed more than 500 events like this. 500. We've seen several thousand people. And we're doing that to tell people about what we do, how the Public Service Commission, what we do first of all, and how the Public Service Commission can help them with their utility bills and utility service. So we've been very busy with that. We have had talked with every Board of Supervisors. In the last year and a half, we have met with 96 towns and cities in the state of Mississippi, 96 towns and cities. We visited with every one of them about their utility filings. They have to make filings with the Public Service Commission. So we've been working with all of them. We've also had this no-call project going. To give you an idea of the size of that problem, according to the Wall Street Journal, in the first quarter of 2018, there were more than 5 billion robocalls. 5 billion robocalls in the United States just to cell phones. So we've been very busy, but I want to talk to you about politics. Now, I know none of you get here today to talk about politics, but I'm going to start it off. Some of you are going to be happy, and some of you not going to be happy. We got some important elections coming up. Over the next couple of days, you're going to hear a lot of people bragging about the things they've done and making a lot of promises from elected officials and the people who want to be elected officials. This year, 2018, we're going to elect a full congressional delegation. We'll elect 2 United States senators and 4 Congress. And the choices are going to be very clear. In essence, in November, we will be holding a referendum in Mississippi on President Trump's policy and the future direction of this country. If you like where we're going, vote for the folks who support President Trump. If you don't like where we're headed, vote for someone new. The Congress can roll over and support the President's policies, or they can study them hard, amend them if they want to, or stop them altogether. I want to look at some recent examples of President Trump's policy. According to the Congressional Budget Office, this year, for the first time ever, the United States will have $1 trillion deficit, $1 trillion. We will spend more than $1 trillion more than we take in. And while the conservatives control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, we still will spend $1 trillion. To cut that deficit, we're going to have to cut Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, because that's where the deficit, the biggest part of the deficit is. If that's okay with you, then vote to support the president. The U.S. House is going to vote to eliminate the requirement that health insurance policies cover pre-existing conditions. That's the most popular provision in the Obamacare Act, the Affordable Care Act, covering pre-existing conditions. Now, I got some personal experience with that. My wife, Nancy, I introduced to you, had breast cancer 13 years ago. She had surgery, she had chemo, the whole deal. Fortunately now, she's cancer-free. But if the current House gets its way, she could wind up with no cancer coverage in the future. So if getting rid of pre-existing conditions is something you like, vote to support the president. We've all seen the pictures on the TV. The U.S. has been separating immigrant children from their parents at the border. Babies, 5 years old, we've been separated. According to the news yesterday, they did that without any plan to reunite them. They were planning on taking those 3,000 kids and putting them up for adoption or for foster care. If that's okay with you, support the president. We're in a trade war. that could devastate our farmers and small manufacturers. Soybean growers have a special problem. If that's okay with you, vote for the president. We have now insulted and alienated our closest friends in the world, Canada, European Union, while we're hugging our biggest enemy, Russia. If that's okay with you, vote to support the president. On the other hand, if you want folks who will support the president when it is the best interest of the people of Mississippi and oppose him when he is wrong, vote for folks who will do that. That's the role of Congress, not to rubber stamp presidential policy, whether it's President Trump or any other president. They are not to rubber stamp policies that are wrong-headed. A check on the executive branch when it's in the interest of the people. And that takes care of this year's election. So let's talk about next year. Next year in Mississippi, we'll be electing new statewide officers, the governor, the lieutenant governor, the secretary of state, the state attorney general, state treasurer, state auditor, and the insurance commissioner, and the commissioner of agriculture. We'll also elect an entire new Senate and new House of Representatives. It's a new start across the board. So what's at stake? Well, let's pretend you're a businessman from another state or another country and you want to expand to a new location somewhere in the United States. Well, you may look at Mississippi. So let's take a look at Mississippi and see what that business person would see. Well, the first thing you'd look at is the quality and availability of the workforce. So how does Mississippi look in that regard? Well, we have great, friendly, charitable people. But we have the lowest per capita income and the highest poverty rate in the United States. Our healthcare statistics are the worst in the nation. Whether it's diabetes or stroke or heart disease or obesity or cancer or Alzheimer's or infant mortality or mental health or low birth weight babies or disabilities. We are last or next to last in every category. On top of that, we have the fewest number of doctors per capita in the country. The lifespan of the average Mississippian is a full 4 years less than the average lifespan of the average American. We did not expand Medicaid, so we gave up billions of federal dollars that would not only have improved our health care statistics, but would have provided thousands of new jobs. They would have prevented the closing of some of our community hospitals, which has been happening over the last couple of years. That's a bad report. What about public schools? What about education? We fund our public schools at one of the lowest rates in the nation. Our dropout rate is one of the highest. On average, we pay our teachers $19,000 per year less than the national average, and more than $6,000 a year less than the surrounding states. No wonder some of our teachers who are trained in Mississippi go across the borders to Alabama, Tennessee, or Louisiana, or Arkansas to teach. We have more than 2,000 teacher vacancies, and the problem is many of them can't make a living. Our test scores are among the worst in the nation, and absenteeism in public schools, kids not going to class, not going to school, is endemic. About 14% on average of our kids are absent from school more than 15 days a year. The number one item on the shopping list of a business is an educated and healthy workforce. Well, we're very short of where we need to be in that regard. What about roads and bridges? You're going to hear a lot about that today. Our roads are falling apart, and many of our bridges are closed. Got a bridge in my neighborhood closed. It's been closed more than a year. Businesses can't get their products to market. So if you're a business person, out of state looking for a place to go, you like the fact that we got a lot of highways, just some of them you can't ride on. That's not real conservative. A conservative is a word some politicians think is the best word in the country. You're going to hear a lot of that today. I once heard one of our elected leaders use the word conservative 6 or 7 times in one sentence. That's pretty hard to do, especially when our roads and bridges are falling apart. Now back to the businessman who's looking to place a business in the United States. What he would see from the outside, looking at Mississippi, is what I just described to you, and it's not a good story. So how do we change the statistic? Well, it's got to come from the top. I think most people will agree. It's got to come from leadership. Just with federal elections, if you like where we are, support our current state leadership. On the other hand, if you want to make a change in direction, you have to change the folks that are driving the bus. You have to make that change next year, and you'll have a chance to do that. One other quick point I want to make to you. Something's been kind of sticking in my craw for a while. As we ponder the coming elections, we sometimes hear the argument, you'll hear it all the time, that Democrats, like me, are tax and spend liberals. Well, I want to set the record straight on some of that. I won't get into all the arguments about it. But I will point out one historical fact to you. In the 16 years I served in the state legislature, the only state taxes that were increased were from Haley Barbour. Haley Barbour insisted we increase the cigarette tax, and the legislature did that. He also, by himself, increased taxes on hospitals and nursing homes. He did that by himself. Haley Barbour did this. So much for being a conservative. That's what I'm talking about. Don't listen to what they say, look at what they do. The most important thing about the coming election is voter turnout. Please get out and vote. Doesn't matter who you vote for. Vote for the current people that are in office, or vote for new people, whatever you want to do. But it's important that your voice be heard. Voter turnout is abysmal in the state of Mississippi. It's shameful. Thanks for having me, and I hope